Welcome to the Dean's List, engaging conversations at the intersection of entrepreneurship, artistic expression, and holistic health. Experience wellness in full color, where fashion, beauty, and art blend with body, mind, and soul. Embark on a journey that dresses your aspirations in style, paints your life with beauty, and sculpts your well-being in every dimension. This is the Dean's List, where inspiration is always in session. Welcome to the Dean's List, where we traverse the diverse landscape of health, creativity, and the entrepreneurial mind. I'm your host, Alison Dean, and today's guest embodies the energy and drive that keeps us moving forward. Meet Monica Hamann, a fitness trainer whose dynamic approach to health goes beyond the gym walls and into the very fabric of a vibrant lifestyle. That's why I'm wearing this pink shirt today. With a philosophy that's all about harnessing inner strength to fuel outer transformation, Monica crafts fitness regimes that challenge the body, engage the mind, and uplift the spirit. Get ready to be motivated as we talk about pushing limits, setting goals, and the power of a workout to change not just your day, but your life. Hi, Monica.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. And I like that you're like rocking like the great arms and shoulders right now, like for all of us. We can all just like aspire for this lovely physique. Okay. Let's start with just tell us about your journey into fitness and what inspired you to become a personal trainer.
Sure. Let's see. So back 15 years ago now, which is crazy to think, that's when I started working out, and it started as having dinner and going on a walk. And this just became my thing. Like I was like, I'm going to just have dinner, go for a walk. And it just made me feel better.
Yep.
So then I kind of branched into finding strength training videos on YouTube. Mm-hmm. There was surprisingly still free stuff back then, but now there's even more free stuff. And I just started doing these random workouts on YouTube. And I just realized after working out, I felt so much better. So it kind of started off as a stress relief. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it turned into something that I had to do every day, whether it be something small. It didn't have to be anything crazy. Back then, I was not even doing anything crazy. I just was learning, but I just loved the feeling after I was done working out. Yeah. And ever since then, I've kind of just been working out every day, which is crazy to think, but it has turned into a lifestyle change, and it's something that I just do every day. And from that, I am now a mom. I have two kids, and I was a stay-at-home mom up until they started going to elementary school full time.
Okay.
Once they started going to school, I felt like I was just looking around like, what am I doing with myself? It's like a major life shift. So I finally decided, well, I'm just going to go for it, and I'm going to start training people. Okay. I'm like, why not? We luckily have a space in our single car garage that I had always planned to turn into a gym, whether it be for my husband and I or a potential career. Yep. So I decided to just go for it. I literally started with one kettlebell and built from there.
You set up the gym, and then, but like, I guess in your mind, what was the moment where you were like, I'm not just going to train myself, I'm going to train people that are not just me and my husband, like what was that moment? You were like, I'm having such an effect on my own health and wellness that now you're like, okay, I'm going to conquer more people.
Yeah. So I feel like so many of my friends, they see that I work out and they want to do that as well. And they ask me for advice. So I kind of thought, well, obviously people want to hear like how I do this. And I want people to feel how I feel working out. And I always dislike when people think of working out as a chore and something that's like they dread doing. Mm-hmm. Because personally, I really feel if you just get on a routine, start off small and start doing something every day, you're more likely to continue that. And I want it to be something enjoyable. So I wanted to show people that working out doesn't have to just be a chore and it's something that you hate to do. I wanted them to realize that this can be something you look forward to and something that's going to make you feel better.
Yeah. But it started with your friends, essentially. So it was like friends told friends.
And so then, friends told friends. And then I just had to put myself out there. I made an Instagram, just started posting stuff. I felt ridiculous. I felt, like I thought, who cares? Who cares what I have to say? But
people do.
I just kind of went for it. Yeah. And found out people do. So yeah.
I mean, I think that's the thing about a lot of the wellness game in general is that the people that are interested will find you. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily everyone's going to find you, but the people that want to find you or that are meant to find you. And that's, I think that's the lovely thing about all of this is, you'll attract those that are meant to be around you. Well, we hope, right? Okay. So this show is all about kind of the intersection of business and wellness. So I'm curious, what does that mean to you? What does wellness mean to Monica?
I really like the term fueling your body. I think of this daily. When I'm eating food, I think of it as fueling my body. So to me, wellness is doing things that are going to kind of give back to your body. Your body does so much for you on a daily basis and it gets tired. So you need to treat it with kindness. And I just feel like wellness is overall, it's a lifestyle and it's not just physical, but it's also mental. So not only the physical aspect, but I've also been branching out into mental aspect. I've started meditating and that's been a thing that I never thought I would ever do, but I am realizing how important physical activity is, but then also helping your brain as well.
Oh,
so it's not just one thing, it's an overall thing.
Yes, indeed. I am on your wavelength. Okay, so tell us about some of your current daily wellness non-negotiables. Like what are things that just, if you don't do them, it doesn't, it makes the day not so awesome, basically, right? So non-negotiables.
A huge breakfast, because I feel like that really starts my day and makes me feel good for the whole day. So I would say huge breakfast for me. And if there's a day that I can't work out or I know I can't fit in like weights or whatever, I always go on a walk. So I'm always, every day for me at least has some sort of activity, whether it be super challenging or just a walk.
Movement is key. And now maybe movement and meditating is key.
Yes, that too.
Okay, what does Monica eat for breakfast? What's the ideal breakfast for Monica?
Okay, I honestly eat eggs every day. I feel like eggs are just so easy. You can make them many different ways. So I feel like it's kind of hard to get bored of them. But I would say typical breakfast with the eggs, I would eat a slice of toast, avocado. I'd put the everything seasoning, everything bagel seasoning on top, and either scrambled eggs, fried eggs, but it's always kind of a mixture of that and bacon.
Perfect. I mean, it's like when you have the thing, sometimes it's like you're not meant to change it. It's like if it's working, why not just continue on?
Right.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I'm aligned.
Some people get bored of like the same food. I don't. I guess I'm just simple. I don't know.
I feel like, and maybe it's just like me getting older, but I've recently gotten into the Strauss Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
And just I feel like my day can't start without at least a component of, this is like an ad for Strauss, but the Strauss Greek yogurt with like banana and some approved granola. And like, I don't know, that's like my thing. And then eggs usually is more of like lunch hour is like where the egg could come in. But I don't know. I'm with you. I can eat that all the time, Monica. Like I don't want it in the evening though. I just want it first thing in the morning. So now there you go. What I can say. Okay. What were some of the challenges that you faced when you started your business, especially because you obviously you've been a mom the whole time. So anything that comes to mind of challenges that you had to overcome?
Yeah, I think it was just really hard for me to put myself out there. I feel like from being a mom and just taking care of kids and basically putting myself second, the whole thought of that was like, whoa, like, I don't know how to do that. And like just insecurities, I guess. So just putting yourself out there is scary.
And so in doing that, how have you shifted from that? So what now has transpired for yourself because you have put yourself out there?
Yeah, I feel like I've gained a lot of confidence just by seeing that people do care about what I have to say and they like listening to my advice. So I feel like that gives me a boost of confidence. And I also feel I really enjoy working out. So what I'm doing for people is very enjoyable to me, and seeing them happy and getting results makes me like super stoked.
Yes, as it should. Okay, so I'm curious, how has your approach to fitness evolved over the years? Especially, once you started your own business, how have things changed?
So let's see. I have tried different kinds of workouts over the years. Like started off with, like I said, just walking, which I still do. But then I've also tried CrossFit before. I've done, a bar class. I've tried different types of working out. And I feel like now, just having the knowledge of those things and doing those different workouts, now I'm more about having a sustainable workout that I'm going to enjoy, but that's also good for my body in the long run. I'm not interested in doing 50 burpees for time. Like that actually sounds like torture. And I'm sure it does for a lot of people, but I'm not interested in pushing myself until I'm miserable, basically, because I don't think that in this point in my life that is helpful for me. So I feel like I went from feeling like I just needed to burn calories, get my heart rate up, kill a workout, feel like I'm dying, to now being more mindful of the exercises that I'm doing, focusing on movements that you do in your everyday life. I do a lot of like PT movements now. So things that you would think about, like if you had an injury and you're trying to recover. Because I'm just what I want to do and what I want my clients to be able to do is to work out now, but also when you're in your 60s.
Yes. And so what are the things that are going to help get you there? Because there are certain workouts where I look at them and go, that looks like an injury waiting to happen, like.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some stuff where it's just a hard no for me. I'm just like, nope, don't need to even, I just don't need to know, I don't need to know if I can do that
not
or
worth
not.
it.
I'm
Right.
just going to say, yeah, that's exactly right. Okay. So basically the approach was burn all the calories, kill yourself perhaps, to now for you and your clients, it's more of just what are the things that are going to help the body maintain wellness. And it doesn't necessarily equal killing the body or just, really revving all engines to the point of super failure, but more of just how do you sustain wellness?
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. And getting stronger. Another thing is like, I really try not to have my clients focus on the scale. I feel like people have this ingrained in their head that we need to be a certain weight. I don't believe in that at all. My weight varies daily. Everybody's does, kind of depending on what you ate the night before, how much sodium it had, what day you are in your cycle. Like it really doesn't matter. And I try to tell my clients, don't worry about the scale, worry about how you're feeling. If you're having results and you're gaining muscle, burning body fat, clothes are going to fit differently. You're going to feel differently. Base it off of that. Forget about the number, because it's just kind of makes people really upset, I feel like.
Yeah. That was a really good soundbite, Monica. I feel like we might use that. That was an excellent little tidbit there. I was like, bumper sticker. Okay, let's talk through a typical training session with Monica today. They show up. What happened? I mean, it's been a hot minute, but I can speak to some of that. And then I also want you to talk about any of like the unique methods that you bring to your clients, or anything that kind of maybe a little bit more different, or maybe
Right.
anything on that front.
Okay. So if I have a client who's purchased a package, I start with doing pictures, which everyone hates. Everybody like wants to kill me when I say this word. And I also take measurements, and I have an app that I use to track all that. It stays between the client and I, so I don't post it on my Instagram unless you want me to.
Right.
But so I start with that because you want to be able to look back and see your progress. So you hate the pictures in the beginning, but then when you look back, you're like, oh, I'm glad I took that. So anyway, so that's the first thing we do when we're starting a program. But a usual day is you'd come in, we do a warm up, and every workout that I create is for that person. So you're getting a personalized workout towards you. I have a lot of people who have previous injuries that we have to work around. So every workout is for that person. And it's just basically based on their goals. But I do a mix of strength training, cardio. And when I say cardio, I'm not just having you run on a treadmill for 10 minutes. It's more kind of like getting your heart rate up, bringing it back down through circuit workouts. So that would be kind of a typical day. We do add some core in there too, but it just kind of depends on the goal. And I just kind of switch it up depending on
say some of the fun things that you've got in your gym today.
Well, I started with one kettlebell, but now I have dumbbells, a dumbbell tree, multiple dumbbells, sets of dumbbells, kettlebells. I've got a TRX suspension training. I have boxes to do step ups and box jumps. What else? I've got a rower. I've got a bike, bands. So nothing crazy, really. But you can do a lot.
Supercharged bike. Your bike is like a special bike. Like, I feel like you're not giving your bike enough.
The bike, everyone hates the bike. It's pretty torturous.
I didn't hate the bike. I thought the bike was, it was like a good hard, but it was like, I don't know. I didn't hate it. I thought it was cool that you had it, and it's got like a big fan in it thing. So
so in the summer it like cools you off. In the winter, not so much, but
no, I liked it. Okay. And then, what do you think are the most important elements? So when creating a fitness regime, whatever, what are all the things that have to come together to make, a successful program?
Let's see. Main thing I would say is keeping track the weights people are using, because through a program, you don't want to always just be using the same weights, right? You're striving to be better. You're striving to get stronger. So keeping note of the weights people are using, I think, is huge, because you have to be tracking, right? Or else they're just going to be doing the same thing all the time. So I would say that is pretty big. Yeah.
One of the most important elements. I think it's important to highlight. The reason why I reached out to you was because I feel like there was something in your site, or I'm really trying to think of what it was, but I was looking for a trainer that I felt like could help with like post-pregnancy stuff, right? So just like how the body, and I felt like that was really compelling, because I think on your bio is like, 2 kids and, and I was like, well, clearly she knows how to get the body back. So that looks like someone that can help me. But I think that was an important thing too, because I really do think, especially given your knowledge with PT work as well, there's a lot of just special needs after having a baby. The body needs a different level of care. And so I think that was the biggest selling point with why I wanted to work with you, was because I felt like you for sure were going to lean into the same knowledges as sort of me on, just what the body has gone through kind of a thing, right? So we had
Yes.
both experienced something similar, and I felt like the trust happens a lot quicker because I knew that you've lived it, So
Yes.
I feel like that's an important thing to note is I do think a lot of moms come to you because
That's
you
actually what I was going to say is, yes, I've had a lot of moms, and that's actually what I originally wanted, because I wanted to help these moms get back into shape and feel better about themselves. And I actually am certified in prenatal and postpartum fitness. And just going through that certification, I was blown away at like these exercises, because sadly, I didn't know this information when I had my kids. And I've now started including that even 8 years after having my last child. And I feel like all the core and the pelvic floor aspects of it, even if you're doing it now, including that in your workouts, you will see a benefit to it, because man, it's hard stuff, even if it's just breathing and it's like core stuff, but it is tough. You never thought like breathing would be so hard, but it is.
A lot of us don't breathe correctly. So I like, now the things that I know, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me. Like breathing is difficult if you're not breathing right. And I think I'm still relearning that, to be honest. I think I'm still on the path of
it is hard to do that. And that's actually another thing, after like getting that certification and reading all about the importance of breathing, I've now tried to tell my clients, like, I know you, like, it feels weird to breathe and it, like, you're embarrassed, but this actually will help with the movements, and it does stuff for your body internally. And so I've been trying to kind of engrave that into their brain, because it is hard to understand when you're breathing, when you're not breathing. So yeah, so I've started that, and I feel like that's been huge for people.
Super important. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. Let's you've talked a little bit about this already, but what role do you think that nutrition plays in achieving fitness goals, and how do you incorporate that sort of dietary advice into the training programs that you create?
Right. Well, nobody wants to hear this, but the diet is probably the most important part. It's the hardest part too, right? So I started offering nutrition plans for people where I customize plans based on their goals. And I actually write up a 3-day example plan of meals. It includes breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 snacks. And this is based off of, I get like their total daily burnt calories without working out, just a daily calorie burn. And then you're putting a deficit to their food, that their calories that they're putting in their body. So anyway, so I offer this program now, but you also don't have to do that. I feel like in my training sessions anyways, I kind of just throw out little tidbits, because I just want to help people. I want to give them advice, because from somebody to go from just eating whatever they're eating to a nutrition plan, I think that that's like a really hard thing. And I don't really recommend that for everybody, because you're kind of just setting yourself up for failure. If it's something that is hard and you've never done it before, you're not really likely to keep going with that. So that's why I like to even just throw out tips and tricks and just kind of my knowledge, and kind of give them goals like, okay, I want you to really just focus on eating real food, because that's huge. Is just think about it that way. Just real food, not stuff from the freezer aisle that's packaged and processed. And or I tell them, okay, let's just focus on low sugar, like no added sugar. And even if you just change one thing out of your diet, you would be surprised the results you could get. Like a big one is like people cutting out drinks, like any kind of soda or juice. That's huge.
Yep. I was going to say that. I was like, oh yeah, people that just cut out soda, it's like an immediate, because it's like sugar bombs. You're just like, I think that's a great call out. Like just take one thing away and just see what impact it might have on how you feel. I think that's significant. What do you think of the people that have like a cheat day? So like they'll like eat a certain way all week, and then on Saturday they just say F it. And then they just, like whatever. What do you think about that?
I feel like I used to have cheat days back in my college years.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would have called it. But I really hate that term because I now just through the years of like experience, I don't like to think of it as dieting in itself. Like it's a lifestyle change. And if you're aware of what you're putting in your body, it doesn't, you don't have to have cheat days. Like people ask me like, oh, well, when you go out to eat, what do you get? And I'm like, I just get whatever I want because I'm not going out to eat a lot and I'm not eating this stuff other times. So like, why not enjoy myself? I really want people to just focus on eating real food, making it like a well-rounded 90% of the time you're eating healthy, but then you don't feel badly when you have something that's maybe not that great for you. Yeah.
Like cheesecake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
When you're at the Cheesecake Factory and they're like, do you want cheesecake? And you're like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So the cheat day thing, I don't know. I don't like the term. I would rather like just go, you have to live life too. You have to enjoy yourself. So enjoy something bad from time to time.
Yeah. That's okay. Balance, right? We need balance. Okay. So what are your thoughts on the traditional gym workouts versus, there's always like a new fitness trend, it seems like the one last year that came into my Instagram feed hot and heavy was P-Volve. But there's things like HIIT and, so many other things, so many boot camps. What do you think about just the traditional versus all these things that we see? And how do people know? I feel like it's an overwhelming amount of choice.
Right. There are a lot of options out there. I feel like there's so many franchises right now about like all these different things. I think there's a time and place for all these workouts. I don't think they're necessarily bad. Like they're just some can be very different than each other. Some of them are very cardio based. So for me, I would kind of just look at it as having a variety and I guess this is the main thing, is do what you will keep doing. Don't go somewhere and just feel uncomfortable doing it. You do it for a week and you're like, find something you like to do so you're more likely to continue doing it. If it feels good for your body, if it's enjoyable, you're more likely to stick to that. And it's not like you can't go to those classes, but maybe just like pick and choose.
Is there any one of these things that you've seen where you've thought to yourself, who would think of that? Or like, I don't know, like, have you seen any, like, I get so many things on Instagram where I see people and some of them I'm like, I think I would try that, but I'm still also like, wow, someone thought of that, where like people are harnessed in and it's
I was going to say like a trampoline or something. Have you seen that where they're like, I don't even know, they're going crazy. It looks really fun, but I'm like, holy moly.
I was like, your knees are getting like, some of those trampoline workouts, I'm like, no, I wouldn't do that one. I would do like the more dancey, not like crazy ones. Now I feel like we need a link to crazy ones so people know what we're talking about. But yeah, those are, I like watching the videos for those though, because I just can't believe people are doing it. I'm like, wow. Wow, that's amazing. I don't want to do that. Yeah. Okay. That's an interesting one. Okay. The fitness industry, it's obviously, there's a lot of myths out there, a lot of quick fix solutions we're seeing all the time in I don't know, I get YouTube ads all the time where it's like, I have the way that you can lose weight or do this. So can you share some like notable fitness fails or myths or like anything that you've encountered and like how do you address some of these misconceptions with your clientele?
Yeah. I would say the first thing that comes to my mind isn't necessarily the exercise aspect of it, but it's the diet aspect. I feel like there are so many fad diets out there. That are the quick fix. And I just, I have tried some of these in the past Like there was that one, what was it? Was it Beyonce, like lemonade, cayenne pepper? Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
It was literally like you're drinking water all day.
Yeah.
Like, great. So we're starving ourselves. So I just feel like there's so many things like that. There's that. What else? I've also tried the paleo diet, nothing wrong with it. But again, everything, I feel like this is my whole mantra, is just things that you can sustain, because I did paleo for a while. And yes, I may have gotten results, but then I wasn't going to do that forever. And then I started eating grains again or whatever, including the things that weren't in that diet. And then I gained a bunch of weight. So it's almost like you're doing this to get results quick. But then if you ever go back to a normal lifestyle, you almost end up gaining more weight. So it's just like putting you at a worse spot. So I don't know. Every time I hear people like doing these things, I'm just like, why? Don't it really like irks me. I don't know. Cause I feel like if you just think about real food, like just think about it. It's from the earth. Like just eat real food and you'll probably be okay. I mean, proportion, you gotta there's more to it than that. But if you just have that in your mind, real food fueling my body, I don't know, just thinking about it that way.
I like it. Yeah, no. Yeah. Well said. All of it well said. It's like just finding the happy medium.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the people that want the quick fixes. They have like an event, they're doing something where it's like, okay, but it's true. It might slap back at you depending on what you're trying to do. And it's aggressive to the body as well. So if you're like really trying to lose a lot of weight really quickly, it's like, well, what are the, cumulative effects of all of that on your body? It's like,
totally. So and I think that too, like if you have a plan, like you said, for an event, okay, great. Do it because you want to feel your best. I'm all for that, but making it, you can't do that your whole life. That's kind of like, have you heard about the 75 hard that's going around? Oh my, really?
What's that? Yeah.
So basically, I know you're like, what? So it's this challenge, I guess.
Okay.
Where it's 75 days. So for 75 days, I think you drink a gallon of water. You do 2 workouts, 2 45-minute workouts a day. One has to be outside.
Okay.
You have to read for 10 minutes, but it can't be like a fun novel. It has to be like a self-help novel.
Okay.
And cut out alcohol. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that may be everything. Don't quote me, but it's something like that. And this has been going around, like people are doing this. And personally, I can't stand this challenge because it's another 75 days is not quick, but it's kind of like a quick fix thing, right? So you're going from 0 to 100 and doing all these things. Oh, the other thing in there was to change something in your diet. But my problem with that, every person that I've heard doing this chooses to cut out carbs. So they're just all of a sudden doing 2 45 minutes of workouts a day, cutting out carbs. Wow. Yeah. So you're just depleting your body.
Oh yeah.
My other problem with this is if you're somebody who's trying to get into working out and you're going from doing 0 workouts a day to then doing 2 45-minute workouts a day. Why? Why are you going to go from 0 to 100? Why not just start small and have something that you can continue for a lifestyle and not just a quick fix? I don't know. And then same thing happens. People lose a ton of weight and then day 75 comes around and they start drinking again. They start eating and you gain all that weight or more back. So
yeah, this is a great plan for anybody that, I think this is perfect for people like you, Monica, because people are going to be like, why did this happen to me? And you're like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. You should just come and work with me.
Well, and I've had people ask me like, do you want to do it with me? I'm like, no. Why? No, you go ahead. You do it. And not bashing anybody that does it. I just feel like you can definitely do it a correct way. I just think people choose to do it like cutting the carbs. They're just wanting to lose weight fast. And then really what you're doing is you're just losing muscle.
Oh yeah. I feel like the only part of it that you would support a friend with is if they wanted to go for a 45-minute walk.
Yes. Yeah. I'll join you on that walk.
Yeah. Okay. Shifting gears to technology in our lives, how do you leverage tech with your work today, and how has it evolved for you? Because obviously online fitness programs, nutrition programs, like there's so much of that now online. So how has that, I guess, affected your business?
Yeah. Let's see. So I feel like many people have a love-hate relationship with Instagram, but we cannot lie that it brings business. And
hopefully.
So I've used Instagram. That's how I started my business, was just posting on there and tagging local businesses. And that's really how I got my clients. So luckily enough, like that worked, right? But it's hard because you got to keep up with it. The other aspect is the online training stuff. So I use an app today that makes it possible for me to easily check in with clients, send reminders. So I'm not having to like text them every day, but I can schedule messages to be sent out, which has been really helpful. Time saver, you know? I do feel like with all the fitness stuff out there, like the programs you can buy online, everyone has their own app. It's a little intimidating. And to be quite honest with you, I don't even know where to start with that. And it stresses me out. Sometimes I have to remind myself that I started training to have something for myself to help other people while my kids are at school. Right now, I only have limited hours because I only work when my kids are at school. So I feel like in my head, I want to grow and do those things. I just feel like in this point in my life, I don't really have the time to do that. But long-term goals, yes, I would love to get working on something where I could send out workouts easier than how I do now.
Yeah.
Like more digital stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important to know what those things are. Even if the timing isn't now, it's it'll happen when the stars align and things are situated in a different way with children. So yes, I think, but good to note those things. Okay, so reflecting now on your entrepreneurial journey so far, how has being on this path influenced your personal and professional development? I know you said, getting onto Instagram, there was like some confidence building there, but I guess for yourself, what else have you noticed in your personal and professional life?
I would say I get so excited for people. I said this earlier about seeing results, but not only just seeing results, but feeling better about themselves, being stronger and just feeling good. That brings me so much joy because it's like, oh, I'm helping them with that. And like I have a couple older clients in their 60s. And one of them in the beginning of working out with me, she was on the edge of osteoporosis. And she started lifting weights. She's been with me for 3 years now. Well, after a year of she comes twice a week, lifts weights with me, and she also goes to PT and does some other weight stuff. She is now not on the edge of osteoporosis anymore. So that was like, I just wanted to cry because I'm like, this lady's coming in here. I'm helping her. And it's obviously doing something for her whole rest of her life. Like, it's not just an immediate quick fix. It's like helping her for longevity of her life. So that's like, I just love that. Like, love just helping people and getting them excited and into working out and getting stronger.
So I think what I read from that is the the success stories that sort of are bubbling up all around you from the work that you're doing is like filling your cup. It's influencing just your cup fillingness, I guess, right? Like,
Right.
because has it influenced the way that you think about things? Has it influenced the way you interact with people on a day-to-day basis? Like, is there anything else that comes to mind with just being a business owner now in that other capacity? Or is it, anything else that comes to mind for you?
I feel like I just want I want to share with people my knowledge, but also my excitement about working out and kind of push that onto them. I don't, like I said in the beginning, I don't want people to feel like exercising is something that they dread doing. I want people to really learn to make it something they enjoy and look forward to. So I just feel like by doing that and seeing with my clients, I've been able to portray that a little more. And I just, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, we're going to do a quick fire round. And it's basically, I'm going to ask you some questions. Hopefully they're not that hard, but it's the first thing that comes to mind.
The pop quiz.
First thing
Okay.
Very hopefully easy or fun or just different. Okay. Are you an early bird or night owl?
Oh gosh.
I
would think that would be a good question. I am actually not an early bird.
I was like, you wake up so early.
For work. But like if I didn't have to work, I would love, like my ideal sleep in time would be 7, but I'm not a night owl either. I love sleeping. So I wake, I don't want to wake up super late in the morning, but I'm just not like a 5 a.m., 6 a.m. on my own.
Oh,
but I'm definitely not a night owl either. So I guess I'm in between.
In the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to figure out what's the middle bird in there. Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee. Yeah.
Okay. Favorite color?
Ooh, I like a burnt orange.
Ooh, okay. Favorite kind of workout? Oh.
Definitely lifting weights. I would do that every day rather than cardio.
Okay. What was the first job, like maybe paying job, that you ever had?
I actually worked at Gymboree. Do you remember? It's like a kids clothing store. Yeah. So I worked at Gymboree. Yeah. Yeah. Retail.
That's actually, I mean, like appropriate for someone that is now a fitness trainer on some level. Like, I feel like, I don't know, just the concept of Gymboree. The word gym is in it.
Gym.
Monica. It was like setting. Yeah, right. Okay. What's the one app that you can't live without?
Oh, okay. That's a good one. I have, which I don't even know if this is like a popular app. I've had it on my phone for a while, but it's called Time Hop. Have you heard of this?
Oh yeah.
So basically,
time management?
No, it connects to like your photos, your Instagram, your Facebook, and it shows you memories. So like it will show me this day 2 years ago. So every morning I like look at this app because it kind of shows me, okay, what was I doing this day 3 years ago, 4 years ago? And it shows me pictures like of the kids or like my husband and I before we had kids. And I feel like it's a good way to start your day because it kind of like brings you back to some good memories, maybe some bad memories, but mostly they're good pictures on my phone, So yeah, so Time Hop. I don't know, random, but
I like it. That's another one of your daily non-negotiables right there.
Yeah, there you go. Check my Time Hop.
Okay, what's the one word you would use to describe your business journey? One word.
Ooh. Fun. I'm like,
I like it.
Yeah.
Right. Fun is a good word. I like that. Fun. It's fun. Okay. If you could have any entrepreneur as a mentor for a day, who would it be?
Oh my.
Anyone.
I know. I'm like, I don't even have a specific name, but I would probably find somebody who has created a fitness app or something along the lines of that and just get their advice on how to do it. What were the steps to get where you are now? So no specific name, but I'd find somebody that's like an influencer on Instagram.
Okay. Okay, what is a book, or is there a book that has influenced your business mindset or your, professional mindset in some capacity?
I am currently, well, I talked about the meditating thing a little bit. So I've been reading more books about not necessarily meditating, but being in the now. So I think this is terrible that I don't
Yes.
even know the name of the book that I'm reading, but I think it's something in the now. But
Yeah. You can
I
send it to me
feel,
later.
yeah, I feel like just reading positive, basically trying to live a more positive life and being around positivity, reading about how to be more present has helped
Yes.
me just in life overall. But I think just being motivated. So I've been reading stuff like that to try to, I don't know. I feel like with winter, seasonal affect disorder is a real thing. So I feel like anything that can bring more positivity in the times where you're maybe not feeling your greatest is helpful.
It's helpful. Besides your own, what is your favorite small business? So another small
Ooh.
business that you're like, oh, I love that small business.
Yeah, let's see. I knew somebody back when I lived in California who had, so I love succulents, and she would make
Oh,
succulent arrangements, which I thought was
oh,
really cool.
yeah,
And just putting her creativity into plants, I thought was really cool.
yeah. Oh, well, we need to figure out what the name of that business is because
I
that sounds
know.
cool.
Yes, I got to look
Okay.
her up. It's been a while.
If you could instantly acquire one new skill, what would it be?
Ooh, oh my.
Instant. Mm-hmm.
A new skill. I wish I was better with like DIY stuff, building
Oh.
things, like measuring things. So, if I want to ever like hang a picture, I don't have to ask my husband.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like that. If you could time travel to any period in history, which era would you visit?
Hmm. Maybe the 50s. Got to get those skirts going.
Cool. All right, I like it. All right, and if you weren't doing this, if you weren't a personal trainer, what else do you think you might be doing with your time?
Hmm. Well, I feel like I would either maybe be working in a school setting, not teaching, but like helping and volunteering there.
Mm-hmm.
Or from time to time, I think about how I'm obsessed with workout clothes and it'd be great to just like work at Lululemon and get a discount. But then I think about like retail is not really that fun. So probably not.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I
Don't need to
like
go
that.
back to that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So helping
Mm,
out in schools, I think.
cool. All right. You did it. Looking forward, what are some of the goals that you have for your business? I mean, you've kind of said a couple already. But are there any like new areas? I know you're in like app creation and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
but anything else that you're, curious about or you want to explore some more?
Yeah. I think 10-year plan, I would love to open a larger space.
Okay.
Because right now I'm really just doing private training and small group, which is like 2 to 3 people. And then in the summertime, I have a big group for boot camp, but it's outdoors. So I don't really have the space for larger groups year round. So I think the
Yeah.
10-year plan, it would be really cool to have a location and be able
Yeah.
to do more group classes. I don't even know what it would really look like, but I feel like I always want
Hmm.
to be involved in fitness in some way, but just figuring
Yeah.
out what that is later on. But
I love
yeah.
that. I actually have I purchased a domain like I don't know. Maybe I don't think it was 10 years ago, but it was a while ago. Because in my brain I was thinking it'd be fun one day if I opened something that was fitness oriented. Um, so maybe we'll do it together, Monica. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
do it together.
You never
Maybe
know.
there's
You
a way
need
to
a whole
combine
group,
both.
right? Yeah.
You do. You do. All right. What advice would you give to someone who is just starting out in their entrepreneurial journey? It could be in fitness. It could just be, starting a business. But what's your advice to them?
I would say don't think about it too much. You don't want to overthink to the point where you're just not going to do it. I feel like I did that a little bit in the beginning, but then my husband was really like, just do it. Like, what else do you need to plan? Like, just start and go from there. Cause I feel like you can start from something small, start advertising or whatever you do on Instagram, making posts, and then it will eventually grow into something else and you'll learn things along the way. But just, I don't know, don't put too much thought into it to the point where you're just holding yourself back.
It's good advice. It's good advice. Just do it, in the words of Nike, right?
Yeah. I guess they knew it all along.
Yeah, right. Is there anything I didn't ask you that I should have, or that you were hoping we were going to chat about?
I feel like you covered pretty much everything. Yeah.
All the meat of it? Okay,
yeah,
we did it.
So.
We did it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I think we just need you. We need you to share socials.
Oh, yeah.
Any final thoughts? Yes.
Yeah. So my Instagram is Monica Hamann Fitness. My last name is very tricky for people, which I probably should just change that. But it's Hamann. So like salmon, but Hammond. Yeah, everyone gets it wrong. But it's Monica Hamann Fitness. That's my Instagram. My website is monica.fitness. So that's a little bit easier. If you go on there, you could also find my Instagram on there. Yeah. So those are my two.
Awesome. Cool. And I think you wanted to give a little offering to the Dean's List community of ours.
Yeah. So if you're a listener and you mention the Dean's List, I will offer you my 3-day nutrition plan at the member price, which is about $100 off if you are a non-member. So yeah, just reach out.
Monica can help you. She helps many, many people. She can help you. Well, Monica, I loved having you on the show and so excited for all that is to come. And we will chat again.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It was great.
And thank you all for tuning into this episode of the Dean's List. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite platform to stay updated and follow us on Instagram at official_Dean's List and YouTube at It's Official Dean's List. I'm your host, Alison Dean. Until next time.